Every shirt you ordered, they all lost.
Yeah, every time I order a shirt, the next time they fight, they fucking lose.
Bro, the ones I rotate are Bob Whitaker, hasn't fought. Thug Rose, who's 2-0. I rock it every time she fights.
Mm-hmm.
I wear it for jammies, bro. I wear Thug Rose to bed like 3 nights in a row because, I mean, let's be honest. I'm just laying there. So, I haven't been wearing my Izzy shirts kind of since he lost to Jan. You're a jinx, but I'm just a slut about it. When they lose, I quit wearing them. I got to get a Cheeto shirt. Got to. He's got to have merch.
Got to by now,
because he was wearing he was on Helwani and he told the coolest fucking story, dude. But he was wearing a Ruka shirt that was like, I'm not racist. Racist people can't be my friends. And it was a real Ruka shirt. And I was like, Jesus, that's cheesy. And it looked too big, like someone in his department said, hey, throw this on for your interview, right at the last second. But I'm rolling with that dude from now on. Did you watch that interview with him?
The post-fight?
No, him. He was on Ariel Monday.
No, I didn't.
It's good. It's like 29 minutes of him telling Ariel's like, how'd you get in the UFC? And he just goes. I think they were supposed to just have a regular kind of interview, but he just tells this awesome story about how he would fight for dirt cheap. Other guys are asking for $1,000 to come fight, and he's like, give me 300. I just need to get 10 fights so the UFC notices me. And tells this cool story and talks about Piotr Jan and Aljamain and all the people that we don't put him in the same bracket with. He said, listen, man, he sits down on the toilet just like me. We're just two men fighting, bro. I don't care if he's a better grappler, better. And it got me pumped, dude. It's just two men fighting. We say it all the time. Anything can happen. All right. We're back, baby. Chad's back.
Yeah, it feels good to be back. I hated to miss last week, but I had to go to the doctor. Had a very important doctor's appointment, but I'm back now.
Hell yeah. How'd all that go?
So I have to have surgery in December to have my gallbladder removed, but
we knew that.
Yeah.
Your inner circle knew, something was going on. So expected, excited. And we'll get that taken care of.
Yep.
And then you can come train, bro. The only other guy I know that loves MMA like I do, you would be like in a toy store in there like I am. Mm-hmm. Someone's beating the shit out of me. I'm like,
loving it. Yeah.
Love it. All right, here we go. UFC 268. We always say, like, this is the biggest card of the year, but this one really fucking was.
Yes.
The prelims all the way through were badass, all leading up to Usman Covington 2, like our most highly anticipated fight. Mm-hmm. Like, probably you can go back to the first episode of this show, and we probably mention it. Can't wait for this. Like, we've been looking forward to this for 3 months. I mean, longer. But since it got announced, it's been like, holy shit, it's really here. And, dude, I think it lived up to the hype.
It delivered.
It delivered.
In every way. The whole card delivered, but especially, the main event delivered.
Right. And Colby started slow, but came on strong. And, dude, it was an even battle.
It was.
When it ended, we all kind of knew Usman won a close fight, but there was no question. There was no, maybe the judges gave it to Colby. Like, that happened in the first fight. Mm-hmm. He got TKO'd in the fifth with a minute to go, but was winning the fight on multiple cards. Had a dominant fifth round up until the moment. The jab that dropped him on his butt, and it was kind of like, whoa. He was probably fucking shocked and like, holy shit. And then it was a weird TKO. He was going to his, wrestling, grabbing on, trying to like stall. And another ref might have given more time, and another ref might have stopped it sooner. You don't know. But he was down 2-0, dude. I mean, in this fight, he was down 2-0. He got dropped at the end of the second round twice. We were all like, the room deflated. Mm-hmm. We looked at each other kind of like, hope you had money on round 3.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because 60 seconds ain't long enough, baby. And God damn it, if he didn't come out, turn it all around, took Usman down twice. What do you feel about the takedown controversy?
I think it was a takedown.
DC said it was 2 takedowns. I don't know. I thought it was takedowns.
I thought they were.
He took him to his knees. He took his back and took him to his knees. Usman totally, like, did the most hardcore fence grab. Like
yes.
a prelim
Yes, he
fighter,
did.
a prelim fighter did that a couple of weeks ago, and they stopped the fight and took a point immediately. And we saw it like Verna Jandaroba or something do it like a month ago, and the commentary made a huge deal. That totally changes where she was going down. Da, da, da. So no one said a word except for DC cracked a joke with Joe. Like, I think it was two, Joe, and then they immediately moved on.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying he was 11 for 11 on takedown defense and still has a 100% rate. If you're a fan that's a geek like us, you know he's got a 100% takedown defense. Unheard of. I mean, the man's won 15 UFC fights. He was a decision fighter his whole career, so let's call that 45 rounds. Let's not count any 5-rounders, but let's not take rounds off for all the finishes. So let's say he's fought 45 rounds. That's 45 times 5, bro. That's like 3.5 hours where he's been standing across from another man who's probably getting worked and didn't go down, you know. I thought Colby was going to be the guy to do it, and I think he is. I think it adds to the mystique of Colby.
Right.
The character, the WWE heel. Now he's the guy that got robbed by the UFC. You can't say he got robbed in the fight.
No, he lost the fight.
Lost handily.
Yeah, I mean, he lost. It was a close fight, but there's no argument.
Yeah, they've spent 10 rounds together, and he's won a minimum of 4 of them. So he held his own with the pound-for-pound baddest man on the planet, according to the world. I have trouble spitting that out. I would rather read the quick brown fox shit because saying Usman's the greatest fighter on the planet makes my stomach curl. I hate him. He grows on me after fights sometimes with some of his humility, but that whole cocky, every time he makes one of those I'm the man comments, I just cringe. And there's been a lot made of Colby. They picked him up on camera right after the fight saying, hey, I'm selling the fight for you too, baby. Go make your money.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of breaking character in a moment of like, hey, respect, motherfucker. I tried twice.
Right.
I tried twice, bro.
Yeah, and he knew.
Yeah.
He knew.
It was over. Yeah. But at his post-fight presser. So post-fight presser, I always say, is my favorite part almost. Hard to say that Saturday night because of the fucking just how big everything was. But we got the winners and losers of the main and co-main on the post-fight. Usually a loser you're not getting.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Chandler we didn't get. He was in the hospital. So was Justin. But I put it on. Dana came out. Loved that. Best 15 minutes of my night. And then I think Weili came out first. And I was like, oh, we're getting the losers. Then Rose came out. Then Usman came out. And when Usman left, I was waiting for the feed to cut. And Colby came out. And I was jacked, bro. I was jacked. Like, oh. And he stayed in character. He went right back to, of course I don't respect that fool, man. Like, da-da-da-da-da, you know. And called out Masvidal.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it.
Yeah, I love how he immediately started targeting Masvidal.
It's the move.
It is.
You were saying it last weekend, like, you know who would be a good fight before the main event? Like, we were just talking about Masvidal. Colby, got to happen.
Yep.
Colby's Masvidal's the quickest way to the title, or you could do that fight even if they're both coming off losses, and it's true. Don't know what's next for Usman.
I mean, we've talked a little bit, but with some news coming up, we'll talk about that too. I mean, I was going to say the winner, if Leon Edwards won against
let's free flow.
George.
Go ahead and break the news.
Okay, so George pulled out of the fight. We just found that out like 2 hours ago.
Yeah. Masvidal's out of the December 11th Leon Edwards fight.
I had said that for a while, that stating Leon beat George. That's stating he beat him. Give Leon a shot. Just give him
the fucker the shot.
Give him a shot.
Get it out of the way.
It'll be like 10 fight win streak or some crap.
Get it out of the way because he ain't winning.
No, he ain't going to win, but give him a shot. But then again, everybody said that about Rose, too, when she fought Joanna. Just give her a shot so she'll shut up.
They both sit on the toilet the same way, baby.
Look how that turned out. Everybody thought it was a fluke that she won. They ran it back, proved it wasn't a fluke, and look where she's at now.
Right.
So give Leon a shot, and then go from there with Usman.
So Usman would fight Leon, which is a fight Kamaru would take. I mean, we both, feel a certain way about that dude.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked a lot the last few days about, Usman's bringing up retirement. I found out over the weekend just from commentary and a couple of the shows I like to watch right after the fights, they all talked about Usman needing double knee replacement, like it's common knowledge in the fight world. Career wrestler, you can always assume their knees are fucked, but I guess it's been a building, last year or so. I guess his knees are bad, so he's bringing up the retirement thing. I thought it was bait. I'm Kamaru Usman. I don't know how much longer I'm going to do this. Like, I'm leaving my baby for 10 weeks. She don't care if daddy got $20 million. You do, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say from the UFC and all his deals, we're just guessing. But these are guys we always talk about being underpaid. Usman's one of those lucky guys who's probably made, like, to me, $2 million from UFC. And he's probably spent a lot of that and has, like, a decent amount of money in the bank and a nice home. But he's not ready to call it quits. He's not set.
No.
You know what I mean? So I thought it was bait, like, oh, pretend I'm on my way out, and Dan will be like, hey, man, the whole Khabib thing.
Mm-hmm.
How much is it going to take? He's getting in that territory. How much is it going to take? This is a big fight. But maybe he does. Maybe every fight camp he's like, fuck. Boy, I don't want to even train wrestling this camp because it tears me up to get down on the mat. Maybe something like that's going on. I don't know. But I think he'd take the Leon fight and fuck him up.
I do too.
And I think in that time he would hope, like, Burns got another win or something.
Anybody but Hamzat.
Anybody but Chimaev.
Yep.
And you keep saying it. And the first time you said it, I just hadn't thought about it. I was like, yeah, maybe. But the more I hear it, the more I'm like, I bet he does call it quits before the Chimaev fight. Mm-hmm. And I bet he'll fuck around and wait too long because it's a big decision, bro. You say you're retired and then 6 months later are asking to come back. Look what Dana does to Triple C. Triple C's a money machine, and he's like, fuck that guy, he retired.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. So Kamaru is going to do the thing where he takes too long, and Chimaev is in place, and he's getting called out, but he's not addressing it. And then he's like, you guys think I'm scared of him, but won't say anything about a fight, and then retire in the midst of all that. It'll stain his rep. It would stain his rep. If he did it tomorrow, we'd all be like, it's Chimaev's why he did it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Chimaev ain't shit. But in 4 fights, he's, usually the guys that are fake, like the pink-haired guy that knocked out Kimbo, or, those fluky things.
Mm-hmm.
4 fights is like, usually we would have saw the true colors. I mean, the dude's a monster.
He's only getting more dominant.
I know.
I really hope that they don't just go ahead and give Leon the title shot.
I hope they don't either.
I would love for Hamzat to step in. He was calling for this anyway.
Oh, yeah.
He said, obviously I took no damage.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm good.
Yeah, his post-fight interview was asking for a fight.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. If either one of them guys pull out, I want in.
Yeah, Masvidal announced undisclosed injury pullout, and Chimaev's manager went on Insta and said, hey, I hear you guys. He's been asking me for a fight since we woke up the morning after his fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chimaev's tweeting out, like, call the UFC and make sure, and we'll get on a plane right now, and the fight's in 4 weeks. Dude, that would blow Leon up. That would blow Chimaev up. It's a win-win for Leon, in my opinion. If you fight that monster, if you take that fight on short, you can always call for short notice. You can always say, I had 4 weeks, man. Whatever you got to say.
Mm-hmm.
And it will blow up. Your star will blow up. You'll make more money. But he's scared because if you take it and lose, you're the Tony Ferguson.
Yep.
You're the guy who, dude, you should have fought for the belt 4 different times, but now you lost.
Yeah.
That's what happened to Tony.
If he takes it and loses, everybody will tell him, well, you should have just waited. What's a couple more months? What's a couple more months?
Right. So Leon's came out and tweeted in this last couple hours like, I knew that chump would pull out. I guess some extra family time over the holidays. And my immediate human reaction was, what a bitch. I'm not saying it's right, but I was like, what a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're all going to think. That's what they're all going to think. You're bitching out already? And I think he is. I think this is like, hey, I don't even want to get called into this, playing this game of are you going to fight him or not. But Leon did say yes once before. He took this fight last December.
Yep.
Remember?
He did.
It was on like a Moreno-Figueiredo card, and we were like, holy shit, bro.
It got moved 3 times.
Yep. Leon got COVID.
Yep.
And then Chimaev got COVID, and it lingered.
Yeah. And it was after the third cancellation that they finally said, we're moving on.
Yeah, Leon, you're fighting Bilal Muhammad. Sorry.
Yeah, we're moving on.
And then the eye poke controversy, the fight got stopped. Like, poor Leon.
Yep.
Then he pieced up Nate, but he fucked up. I know Leon watches, so I don't want to give him too much shit, but he won 24 minutes of the fight and then got caught. And because Nate Diaz is Nate Diaz, the whole world acts like he lost. So he fucked up his last opportunity against unranked superstar. Hey, jump all over this, bro. An unranked older superstar, beat his ass. Mm-hmm. We just saw Cheeto do it. Older superstar, because of being long in the tooth. There's that chance for that highlight reel. Leon fucks all these opportunities up. Don't fuck this one up. Fight Chimaev December 11th. Hold your own. Go the distance. And people will treat you as if you're a hero.
If you land 2 strikes on this guy, you've made history.
Amen, brother.
You've made history
Amen.
In the UFC.
If you go the distance with him, if Leon could survive and, let's say, lose a grappling match,
mm-hmm.
we would all be like, what a bad motherfucker. He took him to the distance.
We have no idea what Chimaev's gas tank really is like.
And he fucking retired over the COVID shit. Mm-hmm. He was all butthurt about it. He couldn't breathe, couldn't train. Months and months later. We thought Jingling was going to test the gas tank.
Mm-hmm.
We thought, survive till round 2, brother. And then knock this fool out. He'll be all like this, and the whole world will be let down, and then he'll say COVID, da-da-da, and we'll all be like, we don't care. We love him,
Yeah.
We're going to love him either way. This is only a good thing for Leon. He's got to take it. Dana's probably going, hey, dude, this is going to look bad. You're already saying Christmas? Come on. So we'll see about that. But so Usman, there we see a path that leads to Chimaev eventually,
mm-hmm.
definitely next year. Colby, got to do the Masvidal fight. Do it Ultimate Fighter. There's already like these little leaked images of people photoshopping Ultimate Fighter gear on him. Bro, it's perfect. You made a comment on the way up here. What'd you say? It'd be like the Chuck and
Tito season, where it was just fucking epic.
Well, you were saying something like you counted the days.
Oh, hell yeah. You'd count the fucking days down. You'd be like, God damn, we're 4 days out. We're 4 days out. Just for that 1 hour episode.
Right.
You get so jacked over it, just over that little 1 hour episode. Because there wasn't going to be none of this, oh, hey, how you doing? Shake your hand. Good job. Your opponent or your fighter did good and everything. No, they went over there, flipped each other the bird. They were screaming and hollering the whole time.
Right. Beefing.
They were just as possible to get into a fight as the fighters were.
Those were the good old days.
So it was just cool. It was entertaining.
This recent season was 2 great fighters. And by the end of it,
mm-hmm.
Volk turned me kind of into not a hater. I loved Ortega. I was like 3. When the finale aired, I had to watch like 3 to see what happened.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't exciting.
No, what little blips where they were getting into it and everything, that was so minor compared to some of them old seasons.
Dude, if you look at the YouTube numbers for all the post-fight shit and pre-fight shit, Colby pre-fight interview, 440K. Usman, 160.
Wow.
Colby's a star.
Yeah.
Post-fight,
wow.
The post-fight clips, because I watched the entire program, but they clip it out. Same deal. Like 360K for Colby, half that for Usman. The pound-for-pound GOAT. They're debating him versus GSP like every day.
Mm-hmm.
Colby triples his numbers. Him and Masvidal, you made a title for fucking Masvidal. That's a star. If Connor's not around or injured or boxing or whatever the fuck he does, Masvidal's the number 1 star. I mean, maybe Nate, but he beat Nate.
Yeah.
Colby Masvidal, you're watching all 18 episodes of Tough. Like you said, you're counting the days. You're tuning in live.
This is going to be huge. Yeah. No one gives a shit that there's no title at the end of the season. No one cares.
Yep.
This is going to be huge.
Yep. So we found out separately. We were both like seeing the news break, not together. And when I saw you, I said, I don't even think he's hurt. And you go, I was thinking the same
thing.
Wonder how many fans out there reacted like, Colby's been calling Masvidal out for 5 days. Masvidal's undisclosed injury. I was thinking, why not call for the injury? Because in my opinion, George is getting up there. George has a couple big fights before we're kind of like rolling our eyes as he tumbles out of the rankings. To me, he's like 38. Now, he wants the path back to the title, whatever, and that's why he took the Leon fight. Leon talked some shit and said, I've been trying to get this fight for 2 years. You guys all act like I'm, because of my his story, they think it's his fault. So why would George do this? Well, George is saying, I want the quickest path back to the title. That's this punk motherfucker, and he's supposed to get it anyways. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
He's selling the fight. Why not undisclosed injury 3 weeks later say, oh, thank God, my knee, it wasn't blown out. I had to take some time off. It's fine. To Dana, not public. I'm ready for a fight, but fuck this, dude. Leon, it ain't selling. I want Colby. And he can be booked 8 weeks past what it was this time. Make triple. Headline something.
Oh, this will be huge.
Yeah. Or
Huge.
Do the big payout for the 3-month filming of Tough. Then get the big money fight. Whatever you guys want to do, it's going to be huge. To do it on a main event of a pay-per-view is the wrong move, in my opinion. It's not enough. Like, we love that. That's what we live for. But this one, there's a story.
Yeah, this is huge.
Best friends, roommates. Colby loves to say, I beat his ass every night in our living room when we were poor training. He knows who his daddy is. I love when he says he knows who his daddy is.
Then if you do the season of Tough, you've got anywhere from 8 to 16 weeks of just complete shit talking.
Complete viral clips.
Yes.
Complete viral clips. And if it gets physical, even once during the season,
oh,
we love that.
Yeah, it'll be amazing.
If I think Tough, you just mentioned Chuck and Tito, and I remember the door getting ripped off by Rampage and shit like that. But when I think badass Tough moment, my first thought is Cody Garbrandt grabbing Dillashaw up by the neck, bro.
And how many times do you see the clip of Chael Sonnen and Vanderlei Silva?
I can't let you get close.
Yeah.
I can't let you get close. Fuck, I've seen that 100 times. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. When it gets physical, it's juicy.
Yes.
We love it.
That's what they want.
Because we get the real deal. This ain't Vince McMahon, bro. These fights are legit as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, we can get a little bit of that story too. Hook us up, bro. Hook us up.
Yeah.
3-piece in the soda, I'll take it. But this is huge, bro.
This is way bigger, way better. Love it.
Love it, bro. Anyways.
I really hope that's the direction this is going. It sure feels like it.
Dude, it does.
Yeah, it sure feels like this
I'm
is
not
where we're
saying
going
it's
with
a ploy, but I'm saying it's a minor injury for George.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. He didn't break his hand. Maybe a cut. It'll just tear right back open in 4 weeks, guys. Now, he couldn't say that. They say, are you fucking kidding me? Stitches will be out in a week. But we're being super disrespectful to Thug Rose, bro. Co-main, we should have already been kissing her ass. Went 5 rounds. I think you might have called it. I didn't know it was going the distance.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it'd go the distance.
I thought it'd be a finish one way or the other. I thought Rose would fuck her up or get caught. And it was 25 minutes of fun, bro.
It was great. It was a very close fight, too.
What a war.
What a war. I had it 2-2 going into the 5th.
I did too. I don't score it like that when we're watching. I'm so sucked into the moment or my own shit that I'm just like, Chad, who's winning? Even though I'm watching it with you. I just knew that we had to have the 5th to have a shot. We get this, we get it. And I'm a big Thug Rose fan. You are too, I think. But, I love her, dude. I don't know why. I don't love when she goes on those, tangents about poverty and fixing shit. I think that's all great, but don't let that be your fighting character. I want your fighting character to be fucking Thug Rose. But she persevered. Zhang came out looking beefy.
Yes, like an animal.
And
like somebody that's been training with Triple C.
Like somebody. Yes, dude.
Yeah, that was in the back of my head the whole time when they were walking out. I'm like, man, she even looks like Triple C.
I know, dude.
Haircut and all.
I called speculated Thug Rose by sub, because if this bitch tries to wrestle, we're getting some sub attempts off. I was off there, but the bitch wrestled, and Thug Rose threw up sub attempts, bro. She threw him up, and I was like, oh, here we go. Nothing happened. They moved out of the positions, but this close to her syncing up that finish. But instead, she had to walk through the fucking fire. Some people are saying she was down 2-0 and then won the last 3. You had it 1-4 for Weili?
No, 1-3.
1-3 for Zhang, and then 2, 4, and 5 for Rose.
Yes.
Now, what was the swing round? Is it 2?
2. Yeah, 2. Because a lot of people firmly believe Zhang won the fight.
Right.
A lot of people do because they believe she won 1 through 3.
It's out there that
Yes,
that
a lot of people do.
yeah,
a
that
lot
she
of
might have got
people.
robbed.
Um,
I'm too biased to make a. I
it is
think
tough,
Rose
yeah.
won. I mean, I think she won a tight fight.
Round 2 was super close. Zhang got a takedown, but did nothing with it.
Did nothing.
And that's
when Rose threw up sub attempts.
Yeah, that's what I've always, harped about is like takedowns go so far, but they shouldn't if you do nothing.
Right.
When you take someone down, boom, pop right back up, then get pieced up.
To me, Jan Blachowicz holding Izzy down for 10 minutes, it proves two things. That Jan can hold Izzy down, and that he is scared as fuck to be standing up with him.
Mm-hmm.
Not to throw shade at Jan Blachowicz. I'm just saying there are certain times when the takedown is like a moment of cowardice. Like, oh, I'm getting pieced. Derek Brunson, he's the king of it. Boom, 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 and shoots. I don't think it should give you a round if you lost the other aspects of the fucking round.
If you lose 4 minutes on the feet, but then get a takedown, hold a person down for 1 minute, you shouldn't win the round.
Yeah, that's the thing that's crazy about this sport is that's all. I can't think of the fucking word, but that's all their fucking own opinion.
Yeah, it's like anymore. If you get a takedown, you win the round,
bro. When someone I love dominates a round for 4 minutes and then gets taken down at the end, I'm like, oh no. These idiots that judge it are going to be like, well, she ended the round on top. It's a fucking real worry.
It is.
There should be more computer-generated statistic shit going on. I want the judges to stay the judges, but those motherfuckers should have the CompuBox. They should see 48 strikes for Sandhagen and 42 for Jan. Oh, okay. I thought Jan landed more because Sandhagen's all red and beat up. They should get to see that shit. The takedown should be a minute in comparison to that many strikes thrown. And they were duking it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool that we have terms like that swing round. It was a swing round. It was a 50-50. And
it was a split decision at the end.
That scared me.
It was a split. Now, one judge had it 49-46.
I love when Buffer goes, Judge Cleary scores it. And we just look at each other like we know if you say a judge's name, like, uh-oh, it's a split. Yeah. Like, fear, just overwhelmed with fear. Like, no, she's going to get fucked because it was tight.
Mm-hmm.
When they announced split and said Zhang, I thought, they're going to take her belt. And when they didn't, I was jacked, bro, to the moon. On a night where we had already fucking screamed and jumped. And, dude, it was a crazy night.
Yeah, on a night where we watched the greatest fight I've ever seen.
Which is?
Gaethje Chandler.
Oh, yeah, dude.
That was the coolest fight I've ever seen. When my dad called the next day wanting to know about the fights, I told him, well, we got to see the best fight I've ever seen. May not have been the most technical, but it was the coolest fight I've ever watched in my life.
That's a good way to put it. We haven't talked about this. That was the coolest fight of all time, right?
I've probably watched UFC for, I'd say, 15 years now. That was probably the coolest fight I've ever watched. I can't think of one. I mean, there's a couple that were cool, but
and there's a couple.
Holy shit,
there's a
that was
couple
awesome.
like cool moments. Like right now is the Yair zombie highlight.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's a cool moment.
Mm-hmm.
But this was from start to fucking finish.
War.
And we all know by now Gaethje won. His post-fight, that short and sweet, that's a tough motherfucker. We were born at the wrong times. We should have been in a coliseum fighting to the death. And like mic drop, what a bad motherfucker. But that's the perfect way to describe it. When it started, we just stood up. Because we were like, oh, it's going to end in a second. They were duking so hard 10 seconds in. We were like, oh.
I remember when we went into the third round, I asked you and Dalton, I was like, this is probably a really stupid question, but does anybody have any money on this going the distance?
Fuck no. Bro, no. My big
would have
bet,
thought that?
My big bet where I risked the most amount of my own money had to end in round one in it. Like, I just knew, well, that's a certainty. And the way they fought, I wasn't wrong.
No.
I should have hit that.
I really thought Chandler had him.
In round one, I thought Gaethje was fucked, and he was doing that weird thing where he'd bend over to dodge. You know that thing he does? I thought in a minute this wrestler-ass motherfucker's going to grab the back of your head and knee you in the face, and you're going to sleep, and it scared me. Every time he took a shot, it scared me. His chin, dude. And I made fun of Michael Chandler.
I did too. I talked a lot of crap about his chin.
You know, my brother was like saying Chandler for sure for weeks. And I kept going, making chin jokes because he's got one flaw. Maybe two. Maybe his tank and his chin. But his chin's the big one because he didn't gas in his title fight. He got knocked the fuck out after dominating. There is no, in my opinion, that I've seen, there is no, like, 2 rounds that are further apart from one fight. Like, he fucked Charles up.
10-8 round.
Charles, when Charles watches his win over Chandler, he has to feel small because Chandler gets to walk around going, I whooped that motherfucker's ass. Yeah, he got me. I whooped his ass. And he did. And then the second round, it's like 8 seconds. Bink. There's just a perfect, like, left hook.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's memes floating around showing Gaethje with blood, like in 4 different crazy exchanges with 4 different guys, and says, Charles Oliveira knocked Chandler out, but this guy didn't. Like, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a perfect left hook, bro. Maybe that says something for Charles.
Maybe it does.
Because we've seen Chandler fuck up Dan Hangman and get knocked out by Charles after whooping his ass, and now go to war for 15 minutes. He did gas. He walked around with his arms down going like this, bring it up for the last minute. And Gaethje was so gassed, he was just kind of walking him down but not throwing. They died in there. But he didn't. He didn't go down. He got dropped.
Yeah, that was a fight where a $50,000 bonus is not enough.
No.
Not enough.
No.
Right?
They both got 50, and it's still not enough.
That's not enough. This was one of the coolest fights I've ever seen in my life. Ride them 75. I mean, give them whatever they want.
It was a roller coaster.
Yeah, give them whatever they want. That was the coolest fight. What a way to open up a pay-per-view.
Right.
What a way.
And Gaethje dominated, in my opinion, but going into the third round, it was 1-1. With 2 minutes to go in the round, it was 22 significant strikes Chandler, 20 Gaethje. And the commentator said, actually, because it had looked like that round was going for Gaethje, you didn't know who was going to win. And all 3 rounds, both of them got dropped and then held on for dear life and survived and then started throwing their own bombs, and it was right back to like they were fine. The giant takedown, Chandler went for this crazy, like, overhead slam and then kind of landed on his head, and Gaethje ended up on his back, and it was like, what the fuck is going on? Coolest fight I've ever seen is the perfect way to put it.
Cool. I'm not going to say it was the best.
Oh, yeah, you can't say the best.
I'm not going to say the best.
Can't say it.
Because that opens up a lot of arguments.
Can't say it.
But that was the coolest fight I've ever seen.
By far the coolest. No controversy with the decision.
No.
29-28, Justin and I totally, completely agree.
Yep.
Before the fight, Justin was saying, title shot or we riot. And it's a joke, but he's been setting out for 1 year going, why am I not fighting for the belt? How the fuck is Charles Oliveira and Chandler fighting for the belt? Me. And then there was some beef, and he's been out a year. After the fight, Dana said, yeah, he's getting a title fight. You know, it's not done yet. Never say never, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, he's getting a title fight. So, I'm excited about it.
That, and I mean, who else would you rather see?
Gaethje Poirier 2 is one option.
Yep.
Gaethje Oliveira is the other.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm jacked. Either way.
So you can either get a fight we've never seen of 2 badasses.
Right.
Because if Charles Oliveira beats Dustin Poirier, then, okay, he's legit.
Agreed.
Legit.
Agreed.
You know, we're all going to have a little more respect for him.
Yeah, if he whoops Dustin's ass or catches him with a choke, anything like that, we'll be like, holy fuck.
Shit. Yeah.
There's a new
But
boss
then if
in
Dustin
town.
does what everybody thinks he's going to,
What is that, though? We all think he's going to win, but what do we think he's going to do?
power through him and drop him.
You think he's putting him down?
Yeah.
He's not Dan Hangman going to war for 5, but coming out on top.
Probably.
You think it'll be a decision?
I could see it.
I could see it. The only question mark there is 2. Dustin's jiu-jitsu. Can he survive those tangles? Charles's chin. You know, I mean, Dustin knocked out Connor twice. He's knocked out a bunch of dudes. I don't know all his knockouts. Gaethje, TKO.
Yep. TKO'd him.
Alvarez, Eddie.
Yeah, he TKO'd him.
TKO. Dan Hangman went to war. Dan Hangman fight was kind of like Gaethje Chandler, but not quite.
Not quite as epic,
Not
but it was
quite
still
as
good.
epic, right?
Yeah, it was still
But those
great.
dudes were kneeing each other in the face and all sorts of crazy shit. Poirier, Hooker.
Mm-hmm.
So we know what's next for Justin's my point.
For sure.
Now, with Mike, I wasn't even thinking. I was like, hey, Bubba, go home and heal. Because he's all fucked up. He looks like Shrek, and he's got cuts everywhere, and looks bad. They were in the hospital together after taking pictures like, hey, yeah, respect, blah, blah. It was cool. But Chandler, this motherfucker don't quit working. If he ain't cutting a mad promo, he's doing a commercial. And if he ain't doing a commercial, he's putting out an Instagram ad. And if he ain't doing that, he's posting viral videos of him working out or being a good daddy. He's always working, though.
Yeah, and anybody can say whatever they want about Chandler. He came to the UFC, and he said it from day one. I want to come to the UFC and test my skills with the best there is.
Not here for a long time.
And that is exactly what he's done.
Yeah.
I mean, he came in against Dan Hangman. All respect. If I was first fighting the UFC, I probably wouldn't want to fight Dan Hangman.
Yeah, no shit. No shit.
Destroyed him. Then he fought Charles, and what we just broke down.
Yep.
Then he just went to war with Gaethje. I mean,
Yeah. Motherfucker can't walk.
he's doing exactly what he said he would do.
He probably can't walk, see, or eat right now. And he is posting. He's calling out Conor.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, take a week to heal. He's saying 2022. They're both coming off losses, both big names. It's a fucking good idea.
Yeah.
And Conor replied with like, yeah, we'll do that at some point. Don't you worry. Saying, yeah, but not yet. You know, they need to do Conor Nate. They need to get Conor a winnable fight. And Nate is that good old coin flip. It'd be cool if Nate pieced him up, but Conor could win that. Michael Chandler, you're risking it all.
You are, especially after watching the Gaethje fight. Like, holy shit.
You could give Conor a super cool highlight, or you could fuck him. It could be 3 in a row, well, 4 or 5, however many in a row, but it could be another big loss in this new era of UFC. UFC is so popular right now. So many people watch it that you'd be like, are you shitting me? I remember when it was taboo.
Mm-hmm.
I remember whenever you couldn't wear the shirts because of the guys that wore the tap out shirt that were the douches, and like now it's as big as the NFL. I mean, it's just a sport. Like Conor's only fights in this era are all kind of shitty losses. I would say even when he knocked out Cowboy was before the big blow up. The big blow up was during COVID. There's no doubt.
Oh, for sure.
No doubt.
For sure.
And there were fans at Cowboy Conor. So it's smart for Chandler. It's smart for Chandler. If you don't fight him, I don't know. Is it like Beneil Dariush?
Yeah, that is a good question. Where does he go from here?
Yeah.
Let's take Conor out of the picture.
You know where Beneil is right now? Backup fighter for the Poirier Oliveira fight. Not been disclosed, but Dana hinted at it the other night when they're like, well, you got something for Beneil Dariush? It's very interesting where he could match up, da-da-da. And he's like, we got something. And they're like, backup fighter for the title fight? He's like, maybe. So didn't announce it, but good for him. That's the only way you're getting the shot, boy. Because the first top fiver you fight, I still think he don't belong. He might be great at jiu-jitsu, what have you, but there's levels, like we always say. It's cheesy to say it, but there really is, which is why Chimaev is so interesting. When he gets to the Usman Colby level, does he crumble?
Right.
Or does he just keep running?
Does he do this again? What if he does that to Leon? What he just did to Li Jingling?
Yeah.
What if he does that to Leon?
It'd be awesome, bro.
I mean, what if he just went in there, grabbed him, carried him over to Dana? What do you want me to do?
I would rather him come out and Leon be backstepping and him flash KO that motherfucker.
Gerald Mearshart style.
Gerald Mearshart style.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be dope. But you got to give Conor a winnable fight.
Yeah,
and
you do.
It ain't Chimaev. It ain't
No.
it ain't any of these guys that, there's a big rumor going around that Max will be Conor's comeback fight. Win or lose Saturday night. He could lose to Yair and you still do McGregor Holloway.
Yeah, for sure.
But McGregor's got the size. I don't like that. But so I could see Chandler fighting a Dariush maybe in like 3 or 4 months, or I could see him, if they give him that, Bro, you can't have 3 fights in the UFC and get like 2 title fights or get Conor and a title fight. Like, this motherfucker's got it made, man. But we like him.
Yeah, I do.
He's doing everything right. And he keeps that kind of badass kind of mentality going while also being a super nice dude. It's hard to root against him.
It is hard to root against him. I really like him a lot, actually.
Do you?
He's growing on me a lot more.
Did you want him to beat Justin?
No.
Did you find yourself torn during the fight?
You know, the closer the fight got, a little bit, yeah.
Oh, he got you.
He did.
Even at the very end of it all, I was like, come on, Justin. He got you.
He did.
Well, get a Michael Chandler shirt because he ain't beating Conor, bro.
Okay, I'll bet on that.
You think he'll beat Conor?
Yeah.
Because Conor's not what he used to be, or because Chandler's better?
Chandler's better.
You're crazy, dude. You Conor haters, man. He's a god amongst men.
On what planet?
On his yacht. Fucking in his bed of money. This Ian Gary guy trying to be the next Conor, it just doesn't do it for me. I like him, and I watched his appearances and shit, and it was cool that he won. And it was cool that he did it to a guy I've been following since Contender. Like, I've been rooting for Jordan Williams. He's the fighter that's diabetic, that couldn't cut weight. Now they got him cutting to 70, and he's not been doing so hot. He was at 185 with, like, no abs and knocking fuckers out, and now he's, like, chiseled at 170. They found a way to cut, and he's, like, 0-2 or 1-2, maybe 0-3. So the Ian Gary guy's not doing it for me yet, but he is a nice kid. He's 23, and it'd be cool to see him get a little go on a run. But quit saying, put me in on the Conor on the same card, and Ireland blows up. Like, bro, come on. And I think Ireland's dwindling on Conor a little bit. Those last couple fights didn't seem as big for Conor. Like, I mean, Dustin Poirier got all the shine. I know he won, but, like, he's the one releasing different hot sauces and doing all this. Conor's in the news for doing bad shit, like always, you know, punching people and shit. That's one of those dudes who's just going to piss it all away. Not his fortune. He'll die young or something crazy. He just acts ignorant too much, man. You know? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be curious, too, how his return looks like.
Yeah, I'm anxious about it. I mean, you guys can hate on him, but I'm excited to hear Conor
I'll always
news.
hate on him.
Yeah, but I'm excited to hear Conor news. You know? Fuck, he's got a broken leg and ain't fought for 6 months, coming off 2 losses. We're talking about him. I mean, that's the point, you know? But Chandler, I don't know about it, man. Okay, the other big main card fight that I did want to talk about, I'm sure you did not care if we covered it or not because it feels small in comparison, but Frankie Cheeto. It was awesome. It was a back-and-forth war, and neither guy disappointed, in my opinion. And then in the third, I don't know how long was left, but...
About a minute.
Yeah, deep.
Yep, there was about a minute left.
Cheeto landed this, like, badass, just, like, front kick straight to the chin. And
Lyoto Machida style.
Yes.
Yeah, straight up the pipe.
Yes. And there's this, you know, viral meme going around of when it landed and Frankie's face is just smashed up, and it's sad.
It is.
And Cheeto addressed it. He came out and said, hey, I would never do that. He said, I flipped him off in the cage. We had a little spat, but after the fight, I hugged him and said, all respect, man, but you're trying to kill my family right now, and I'm trying to kill yours. Like, all respect. And they hugged it out. But he said, I would never do that. I didn't do that. But if they did it to me, I wouldn't give a shit. Fuck it. I hope he don't give a shit. Fuck it. And it was cool. But like I said, that whole interview of Cheeto was really cool. I hope you listen. I sent it to Zach. I was like, dude, this shit's inspirational, bro. Check it out. Maybe it'll pump you up for your fight or something, you know, like. It was cool. And he was real respectful, but he did fuck Frankie up. Now, the room got silent when it happened. You know, Dalton and I know he's your favorite fighter. You know, we did pick Cheeto, but we were all felt some kind of way. But not just because of you, because he's like the nicest. He's a legend. It was sad.
I fear we're starting to see the cowboy effect where we had a guy that was great for a really long time, and it is finally, his body has hit his breaking point. And
right.
We're going to start seeing a decline. I really hope that maybe he just takes one more fight.
Yeah.
Because he is 40.
Yeah.
Takes one more fight, and calls it good.
It's been a year since he went to war with Pedro for 5 rounds and won a controversial decision. You know?
And then the Sandhagen knockout.
I know, but it's not like he's lost 6 in a row like Cowboy, but
No.
they've looked bad.
They have. Yeah, there was a controversial
one that
fight
people
with
say
Pedro.
you lost, and then flash KO from a flying knee, and now this.
And another thing, so like you said, Frankie has always been my favorite. One thing Frankie has always been known for is cardio. It wasn't there.
It wasn't.
So Frankie won the first round, clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Was winning the second round till about midway through, and the tide started turning because you could see he was gassing.
Totally agree.
You could see he was gassing.
The tides turned, but it could have been 2-0 Frank. Now, I didn't see that. When he dropped, you went, and he was fucking winning the fight. You were devastated, dude. And I was like, he wasn't winning that fight. It was even, wasn't it? You're like, fuck no. And you were mad. I was like, damn, did I miss something? But I could see how it could have been 2-0 Frankie if they gauged that first half of the round more so than the last half. But if it's what I was bitching about earlier about, like, sometimes something happens at the end and they go with that, probably 1-1. I would love to see those cards,
I would have too.
They float those out. It's not like it's a secret.
I was thinking about that today, that I needed to look that up.
But I don't know if they release, like, undercard scores like that. I'm sure they do.
Surely so.
It was a main card fight, I mean. But is Cheeto Frankie stats floating around out there? Maybe. But I'd be curious to see. And now round 3 obviously won't have a score, but that was Cheeto's round.
Right.
The round he got the finish in.
That's what I was saying. I mean, round 3 he was clearly winning anyway.
Right.
But about midway through the second, Frankie started to gas is why Cheeto started taking over.
Right.
I mean, it was becoming clear, and that doesn't happen.
Had Frankie survived and won 29-28, it would have been another, like, the Pedro fight. Like, wait a minute, man. Like, Cheeto was fucking him up at the man. It would have been another. His tank ran out and he started to lose. It was obvious, but the KO was brutal, and I think the KO it was perfect, but I think it was because he was fucking gassed.
Yeah, it was.
In the first round he survives it and keeps swinging. It dropped him, dude. Like, it was sad. It was sad, but Cheeto, man, what a bad motherfucker. I mean. You can't hate the guy. The motherfucker got into the sport young. He's only 28. Does that not blow your mind?
That's wild.
He's been getting submission of the nights for like 6 years.
There was a 12-year difference between the two fighters.
Yes. And that's what he said on Ariel, too. He said, hey, man, I'm a young, hungry lion. He said, I think we're both the same. He said, I think me and Frankie are equals. I think he could beat me on any given night, and I could beat him on any night. But I'm the young, hungry lion. He's the legend. Like, I hope he retires and lives a great life. He's done everything. And, like, he gave him praise, but said, bro, it's time. And I agreed. But Cheeto being 28's the part that blew my mind. Like, he seems like a seasoned vet.
Cheeto looked like he was about 3 weight classes bigger than him, too.
That got brought up as well.
Yeah. He looked huge.
Hey, Cheeto. Frankie was the 155 champion. And you just fought him at 135. How do you feel the fact that you were twice his size? Could Cheeto fight at 55? No. It says how crazy it is what Frankie did in his day, bro.
Yeah.
We talked the other night, like, walked around at 158 and fought at 155. That is not how you do it.
No.
At minimum, he should have been a featherweight.
That was old school UFC.
Yes. What do you weigh, man? 260. Come on.
Yeah.
Whatever you weighed, you fought.
All right, you're a heavyweight.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, we would see people like Mike Chiesa fighting at light heavyweight.
Right.
That's one that always stuck out to me.
Yep.
We would literally see him fighting people like Jan Blachowicz.
Who was the guy that Izzy was calling out that ended up choking and losing, broke his arm against Whitaker? Jared Cannonier. He's one of those from that era of, like, just fought at 3 different weights.
Yeah.
Well, I walked around at 210 when I got in the UFC, so I was light heavyweight for a while. Well, and then I lost a little weight with my wife and thought, oh, shit, I can fight it. The weight class below that. Oh, heavyweight first.
Yeah, he started at
then
heavyweight.
Light heavyweight. Yeah, then middleweight. Yeah, cool. It's cool. But
it is.
It's a different era now. And Cheeto is what a 135er is, and he looked twice as big as Frank, man. Which is all the more impressive that Frankie held him down in that first round and part of the second. Like, that's a little dude.
Yeah.
With a big fight in him, But, Cheeto looks badass with the cornrows and the fight, and he's like, I feel like he was wearing, like, the almost camo green trunks, like the Brazil trunks. I like those. And covered in tats and highlight reel. He did lose a decision to Jose, but he's always highlight reeling with badass chokes, triangles, guillotines, knockouts.
And something I took away from the Aldo fight was, did he lose? Yes. Did I agree with that? Yes.
Yes.
Did he get destroyed? Hell no.
No.
No. He even, I mean, it was 29-28.
I think
It was a close fight.
Aldo in the first round was like, holy fuck.
A little taken away that this guy was supposed to be
sharp.
This was supposed to be a rebound fight for Aldo.
Right.
Like, all right, get you a win under your belt and kind of get you
And
back.
Cheeto kind of pieced him in round one.
Yeah, he did.
And Jose used his brain, took him down, and won 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Survived.
Round 3 was all Aldo on his back, just pretty well holding
it was
down.
even awkward, like Cheeto doing this to the camera, like, what you want me to do? Like, I'm stuck. And he's not doing nothing. It was weird. Not a good look for either guy.
No.
Cheeto, break that leg lock and get up, bitch. And Aldo, come on, man, do something. So, but the only other loss Cheeto has in like his last 12 fights is the one he took at featherweight on short notice. That was a very controversial decision with like Song Yadong. I think it was Song Yadong.
Yeah, I think so.
And Cheeto got robbed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the general consensus. It was early in my watch career, and I didn't know any better, but Cheeto got robbed. So the dude was calling out the Piotr Jans of the world and the Aljamains and saying that we're just 2 men. Anybody can win a fucking fight. I'm willing to go as far as I need to go, and it got me pumped. I want him to be the champion. I never even considered it as an option. Not after he knocked out Sugar Sean, not after the last win. I never even thought like he was that kind of fighter. Why not? He would be a badass champion.
Yes, he would.
A cool champion that might blow up. I want him to fight. I mean, Font's fighting. Who's he fighting?
Aldo. Yeah, on the 4th.
And
December 4th.
I think he was saying on the aerial show, he said the only 2 people there are Merab and he said the other guy without a fight. He said, I want both of them. Whichever one will fight first. I want them both. And I thought, Ariel was like, not a lot of people calling out Merab Dvalishvili. And he was like, I want him. We're just 2 men, bro. And I was like, fuck, yes. Cheeto Merab could be happening, bro. I'd like it.
Yeah.
You would be rooting for Merab, right?
Oh, I would be. I love Merab.
I don't hate him. You had me turning towards him, but if you fight Cheeto, I'm on the Cheeto train. I'm on the Cheeto train, bro. Chew fucking chew. He's one of my new favorites.
Driving it.
I'm driving it,
You're
bro.
driving that motherfucker.
I want him to fight them all, win or lose. I want him to get to fight them all. TJ, all of them. Fuck it. But, yeah, for Frankie, it's probably peace. And I think it should be.
Yeah, which my dad knows that I've always been a huge Frankie fan. Ever since I got into the sport, I always loved his wars with Gray Maynard, all that stuff. So kind of what I told my dad is I really just obviously I love to see people go out with a W.
For sure.
Fight an unranked something. Get a W.
Yeah.
Get one last little payday, which he made good money.
Yeah.
I mean, he made real good money.
But I heard that the gym he opened was doing really bad. In fact, it was doing so bad that the people that sold him the building gave him a different building in a better location because that was like the ghetto. So he might need the money. I mean, he might not want to retire over money, or maybe that new gym is like starting to flow. And surely he's set, right? All the title fights.
Yeah, that and just all the fights he's had in general.
Yeah. Fuck, even if he was getting like a flat $40K a pop for the last.
Hell, he got $250 for that fight.
Good.
That was an interesting thing. So Frankie got $250, and it would have been $250.
Right.
Well, obviously it was just $250 for the loss. So Cheeto got $75.
Well, the pay scale goes by
Plus,
number of UFC fights.
I know. I'm just stating that no matter where you're at, you can still make less.
Yeah.
And be the winner.
Yeah.
So Cheeto got 75 plus the $50K.
So $200K, and Frankie got $250, which is fine. He's probably got like 28 UFC fights. Cheeto's probably got 14. Although a Cheeto probably has a lot.
Cheeto had a lot more than what I thought.
That's a low number.
Cheeto had a lot more than what I thought.
Cheeto should sign like a come on guys, give me like 125. Like he's a star in the making. He's like a Brandon Moreno that could blow at any time. His whole country would get behind him. They already are. He gets to like talk to the president of Ecuador and shit. But Anyways, man, there's really only one fight this weekend we even care about, and it's Max versus Yair Rodriguez. Yair's coming back after a 2-year layoff.
Yep.
Had a little bit of controversy about 6 months ago because USADA, he refused his drug test. They couldn't get him to come to meet him like 3 different scheduled times all in this like one day, and he got some deep shit for dodging him. So that's, I guess, handled or swept under the rug. His last fight was like a Jeremy Stevens rematch that he won. He has the highlight from 3 years ago today of the spinning elbow against
Korean
Zombie, where he lost a 5-round fight. And with like 8 seconds, they did that thing in the center. We're like, let's fucking throw. And a fluky elbow knocked out the Zombie. He's fighting Max Holloway. You could talk about Max all night. Best boxer in the UFC, chin like a fucking iron tank. I mean, to be the best, you got to beat the best, baby, and the best is blessed. He said it the other day, and I got chills. I was like, this is the baddest motherfucker on the planet, man. I love him. He's a minus 750 favorite. I think he's going to smoke this motherfucker.
I do, too.
I think he's going to finish him.
Especially after watching the Calvin Kattar fight. That was one of those fights where you can watch and be like, there's levels to this.
Yes.
That is the prime example of that, because Calvin Kattar's good.
Yeah.
He's very good.
Yeah, top 10.
Yeah, he's solid top 10. Great fighter. Can beat a lot of people. And then ran into Max.
And he made it look easy.
And this was like, oh my gosh.
Dude set the record for strikes.
Got finished probably 4 times in the fight.
Yeah. Should have been stopped over and over. And Max said it this week. He said, of course, I need that finish.
Mm-hmm.
And they were asking him, like, why are you taking this fight? You could have waited on the belt. And he said, I'm not one of those fucking elevator divas, bro. Like, I'm not going to sit around. This is the prime of my career. I want to fight. If you're the best in the world, what do you care who you're fucking fighting? Love that mentality.
Mm-hmm. I wish a lot more people had that mentality.
Yeah, dude. I think Max is the baddest motherfucker. And if he does, anything can happen. If he gets caught or something bad happens Saturday night, it'll break my heart because he could have set. But, if Max loses, he's fighting the Connors of the world. He's got to win over the 155 champ right now. Mm-hmm. He's got to win over Charles Oliveira so he could fight for that belt. I would love to see Max smoke this fool. Smoke Connor. Have all sorts of shine going into the summer. Smoke Volk. And then fight Dustin Poirier for like the 55 belt. Now, it is Charles's belt right now, and I'd watch that too. But, this is a different Charles. The Charles that Max beat was the same guy that, like, verbally tapped when Felder was TKOing him and shit. Like, he was a quitter. I mean, he's a different monster now, but Max is special, man. Set the record for strikes.
Yeah, and I know this was something we talked about the other day. It was a great conversation, was committing to a weight change.
Yeah.
I would love to see Max commit to the weight change. Because Dustin Poirier, he was a 45er.
Yeah.
Now, will he ever make 45 again? No.
Couldn't.
No.
And whenever that loss Max has to him is a decision loss where he just looked
small.
Just looked too small.
Yeah.
Probably landed more strikes.
So if he committed to the weight change,
then I would be okay with it.
I would love that.
Yeah, commit to the weight change, fight Connor, get the belt, then you're talking a whole new career.
Mm-hmm. Michael Chiesa was a guy that benefited very well from this. He committed to the change to 70.
Yeah, he struggled at 55.
He struggled. Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
He was getting knocked out at 55.
Yeah. And that's Usman's biggest knock from Colby was he's fighting lightweights.
Yeah.
He's knocking out lightweights, and you're calling him the pound for pound? And how come Colby, sorry to get off track, but Colby went 10 rounds with Kamaru and arguably won half of them. How come he's not on the top 10 pound for pound?
I agree.
What the fuck? He's the second best on the planet.
Arguably, yes, I agree. Arguably has won 5 of the rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out of their 10 rounds they win, he's arguably won 5.
Agreed.
And he's not even on the list.
On official scorecards, some of them, he has won 5.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fact. Not on the list. That bummed me out. Yeah, Chiesa definitely struggled at 55 and then went on a run at 70. Now he's, Luque tapped him, which is not good. That's your forte. And Luque is a striker that choked you out. Like, not a good look, but he's got a fight coming up, so he needs to rebound. But I think Max will smoke this fool. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't, it's a tragedy. His career's fine. He's going to be 30 at the end of the year. Still young, dude. He's got 5 featherweight title fights, and he's like, of course I want that 6th one, Volkanovski or whoever. So hopefully he'll get the finish. Hopefully he'll start this motherfucker. We saw it with Ally Quinta Saturday night. 2 years off, 3 years off, you come out and you get KO'd.
Yes.
You're not used to taking the shots anymore, maybe. I don't know. But something like that happens to Max, maybe he can get a quick turnaround.
Yeah, because I remember a time when Ally Quinta was the guy you'd bet on.
Right.
You know, he made it all the way to number 4 in the world at lightweight.
Right. Took Khabib to the distance. I love saying that. But he did. So, yeah, I'm excited for Saturday night. I'm not watching live. I'll be watching Zach and Will fight, the guys I train with. I'm excited. Front row, live event, bro. Like, holy fucking moly. I'll let you know, like, if it's cool or if it's like, we like it better on TV. But it'll be a nice little sample to see if I do want to do the trip we always talk. Do we want to take a big trip and watch a UFC? Like, of course we want to, but is it worth, this will be a little taste of like, it's badass in person. So I'm excited about that. Starts at 7, so I'll probably head out of town at like 4 or 5, and me and Gottman are going. And I will, if my guys aren't fighting, I will have Max on my phone just so I can see it. But if not, I'll be watching it like on the dashboard of my car on the drive home because it's a 2-hour drive. So not going to watch live for the first time in a long time. I hope you are.
Yeah, I will be.
I'll make sure to watch the card before we come in next week. But I can't believe I'm mixing Max. He was like one of my first favorites when I first got into
that.
this.
When you first got into it, Max was your dude.
Yeah, he was my first favorite, and I still love him as much as ever. I just, bro, I joke about it all the time. I just love all these motherfuckers. I love the sport. I love watching it. When it's 2 nobodies on the prelims walking to the card and you haven't maybe even tuned in yet and Dalt's not even watching, I'm as excited as when the main card fighters are walking out. I'm addicted to it. So I've got 33 favorite fighters, and I've got 10 or 12 I fucking hate. I hate him the most, and Ngannou's one of them right now. He ghosted Cyril Gane the other night. Piece of shit. I hope Gane wins. I've changed my tune.
Yeah, I've been on the Gane train here lately. I have been.
Fucking Ngannou, bro. I hope he loses, and then he has to fight Stipe, and he loses again. I just hope he goes on a bad run. Piece of shit. He seems so nice. He's fake. But, so yeah, text me. The way I text you, oh my God, man, this is intense. Da, da, da. Even when you're watching, I'm like, text me. Keep me informed Saturday night. Mainly on the main.
Right.
The rest of the cards, there's some good fighters on there, but nothing super exciting. So, yeah, I got to know the moment Max wins that it's over so I can quit worrying about it. But,
well, I don't think you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Minus 750. That's Holly Holm Ronda kind of numbers, bro.
That is.
Scary. And Yair's coaches have been saying, hey, if he was on the couch for 2 years, I'd be worried. But he's been training the whole time, been learning. So we'll see. Talk is talk, baby. So. All right, that's all I got.
That's all I got.